frank discussions of truth, guns, and the American way. If you are offended by hard work, honesty, and angry peasants, consider yourself warned. If you do choose to proceed, please sit back and relax.
We do not obey a government that tries to murder its own. Test us, and we will all burn together. You've been warned.
But as I see it, they leave us with little choice.
I agree. We're at war.
There's been no formal declaration of war. Not from us, but certainly from them. They've attacked us at every encounter.
They declared war on our way of life.
But even in war, there are rules. You don't kill civilians indiscriminately.
There are no civilians among them.
It comes down to this. We're faced with an enemy who are determined to destroy us, and we have no hope of negotiating a peace. Unless that changes, we are justified in doing anything we can to survive.
Our liberties are being taken away from us. Our freedom of speech is being watered down to such a degree that it is becoming void of power. The Second Amendment is being altered. The result, the disarming of our nation. This is all being done by the great Satan, Obama, who also ignores the greatest threat to national security, Islam. In order to stand up for the Constitution and honor the victims of 9/11, we will be having a worldwide burning of 2,998 Qurans. One Quran for every victim of 9/11. A worldwide burning of 2,998 Qurans in protest of Islam and standing together as Americans for the Constitution. Send us your Qurans. But perhaps during 9/11, you lost a loved one, you know someone, or you just simply want to stand with liberty. Islam is a religion completely void of human rights, women's rights. It is a religion of murder, rape, persecution. They continue to kill Christians and anyone else that dares to criticize Islam, Muhammad, or the Quran. Let us, during 9/11, send them a very clear message that we shall not bow to their intimidation, and we shall stand and we shall protect our liberty and the Constitution of the United States. Join with us. Stand Up America now. Thank you.
And good evening, people. You are listening to Freedom Fighter Radio, and yes, I'll be speaking at that event on September 11th, 9/11, as I did at the last Quran burning and the Obama effigy burning. and we plan to have a few members of the Sharia opposition force for security. It will be an armed and open carry event on private property that has now been secured. If you'd like more information, you can email us or call. Go to standupamericannow.org, or you can email us as well. Call us at 803-649-3603, and we could be called pretty much most of the time, even if you call us on Skype. It forwards to my cell phone. Well, people, you've heard a lot about it. The Muslims are enraged over some controversial films, not controversial to us, films exposing the truth. Tonight, today, we're talking with Imran Firesat. He's a former Muslim, I believe, I understand, that is now trying to expose the threat of Islam. His YouTube video, The Innocent Prophet, is posted on the YouTube channel, Stand Up America Now. It will be posted on ours later today, as we've now created our new YouTube channel. We only got a handful of YouTube videos up there. We're going to be adding more, including his and Terry's today. The YouTube channel is Sharia Opposition Force. Everything about Islam and exposing it is what the Sharia Opposition Force YouTube channel is all about. Well, our guest has released a new trailer yesterday. A trailer that challenges the Muslim attempts to shut down free speech. The Innocent Prophet, his previous work, has received more than 70,000 hits on the channel. Imran Firesat is Stand Up America's representative in Spain. He faces continued threats from the Spanish government because of his anti-Islam work. Dr. Terry Jones' association of Imran has caused the Spanish government to ban Dr. Jones from Spain and all of Europe. I wonder if they ban me. I'm going to be checking on that soon. We are calling on the Western governments to stop restricting free speech with these bans and intimidation while appeasing Islam, which is the greatest threat to the West. The Innocence of Islamic Jihad is a new movie that's coming out. He's going to tell us about it. It's an upcoming movie that you can currently see the 7-minute-plus trailer on standupamericannow.org. You can also go to Sharia Opposition Force, and you can also go to the YouTube channel, Real Islam TV, which exposes Islam. And again, that trailer was released yesterday, so I'm sure he doesn't mind you sharing it. People, it's important that we talk about this, because more recently we've seen the bombings at the Boston Marathon. We've seen the Fort Hood shooter. We've seen the failed terror plot to blow up trains in Toronto. 2 al-Qaeda jihadists caught in Spain. A British soldier publicly butchered by jihadists with meat cleavers on a London street in the middle of the day. A French soldier attacked with a knife in Paris. A Spanish politician's security guard attacked by a Muslim chanting Allah Akbar. And I know Imran doesn't have this on his site, but I'm going to say this. In recent months, 2 of the most wanted terrorists in the world were arrested, one at an airport and one at a bus stop. The one at the bus stop was arrested less than 9 miles from my house. My house is 2 miles from the biggest mega mosque in the state of Georgia and the southern United States as well. And the story is that that terrorist that was arrested about a half a mile from FBI headquarters in Augusta was planning to buy a bus ticket in which he was going to go join a terrorist group overseas in Somalia. But he was going to be hanging around my area for 2 or 3 days, and he got arrested. Well, I'm glad, because I'm really curious to know what his plans were for the next 2 or 3 days had he not been arrested in my neighborhood. Interesting, isn't it? Well, let's talk about this. I'm going to bring Imran on, and Imran, God bless you. You are a true modern-day hero, a living martyr, as I would like to call it. It's a pleasure to speak with you, Imran, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is completely mine that you invited me to be with you and to share my experience and my plans and my feelings with your listeners So I really thank you to give me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Well, before we talk about your previous work and your current work, I am correct to say that you are with a capital F, former Muslim yourself, right?
Yes, sir. I was born in Pakistan, which is an Islamic country, and I was born in a very radical Islamic country. So, I mean, I was completely a Muslim. I sincerely used to follow Islam the way they used to ask me to pray or to keep fast or to hate infidels. I used to do everything. But 26 years of my age, I followed that religion. But later, the things changed. Some things happened. Some new circumstances occurred in the life that I decided to leave that religion. And since then, I decided to dedicate my life to show the truth to other Muslims the way I have realized the truth, that they also can come to know that truth.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, so obviously you're a non-Muslim now. If you don't mind me asking, you left Islam, and did you pick up another faith?
When I left Islam, I didn't embrace any other religion, but now, proudly, I can say that I'm a Christian because I was just baptized 3 months ago, and it's been 2 years that I've been going to church and understanding. And the most important thing, first of all, that I knew the truth, that the Christ is the truth, and second thing, which I would love to mention here, that Islam is the complete, it's not a religion, it's a forceful system which asks you to do the things, which restrict you from doing things, which forbid you to from several things. So I mean, there are just restrictions, there is just fear, and there are just threats that Allah will do that if you don't do this, and Muhammad will be angry if you don't do this. But in Christianity, never someone says me that, look, if you don't come to the church, you will be killed, or you will be punished by Christ. They simply just say, even if you don't come to the church, you can pray in your heart, and God will be with you. So this is the big difference that between the Christianity and Islam, and I think we should not actually compare Christianity and Islam because Christianity is a religion. Islam is not a religion. So you cannot compare something with Christianity which is not a religion. So I proudly say that I'm a Christian.
Well, a lot of people are going to be curious, and we're going to get to your film because this is really important, being that you're a former Muslim. A lot of people are going to, and we get people that listen to our show that are Christian, atheists, and yes, I even have some Hindus because they're being victimized. Well, anybody is not a Muslim because and we've seen what Islam has done to India as well. So what happened to make you wake up? Did you just wake up one morning and say, "This something's wrong"? What happened?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It will never happen that someone just wake up in the morning and they say, and the things change. The main reason why this always happened is that because I fell in love with a girl who was from Indonesia, and she was a Buddhist. So we fell in love, and my mistake was that before falling in love, I didn't ask for permission to the mosque or to the Islamic authorities of Pakistan. I simply just fell in love with her because she was beautiful and she was charming. But later I realized, or I came to know that a Muslim is not allowed to marry with a Buddhist. And that was the time when the problems arrived in the life. Living together and having sexual relationships out of the law, out of the marriage is a serious crime in Pakistan. So that was the time that when I was persecuted by the society, Islamic Society of Pakistan and the police of Pakistan, and I was forced to pay a lot of money or being detained, and several things were happened. That was the time when I thought first time, what kind of religion is this that which I followed 26 years of my life sincerely, honestly, whatever they said I did. But now when I fall in love with a girl, then they don't allow me to marry with her, and they ask her to convert to Islam, otherwise I was not allowed to marry with her. And my wife, because she was from Indonesia and she was also victim of Islam somehow, so she said she doesn't want to convert, and if we love each other, then it is not necessary that we should bring religion in that matter. So she refused to convert, and I didn't want even her to force her to convert to Islam and to marry with me. So that was the time that I realized first time in my life that this religion is completely bullshit, which doesn't understand the feelings.
Tell me what the slogan is. on the mosque in the Arabic writing, it's something like, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it says, there is no other God but Allah, and I'm a slave to Allah, or something, or Muhammad. What's that phrase?
I'll explain you.
Can you tell us what that phrase is,
India.
please?
Yeah, I've been living in India, in between Hindus, and I've been living with Buddhists in Japan, and of course I've been living with Christians. Almost everyone, they have the same definition of God. They all say that there is only one God, and everyone has different manners to pray to that God. But Islam makes it clear that there is no God, but there is only Allah. So in that sense, Islam is making it clear that the Christians or Jews or whoever is praying to other gods, they all are infidels, because there is no God, there is only Allah. And whoever will not pray to Allah and whoever will not follow Allah is infidel and who is eligible to be killed by Muslims. So in the case of Islam, it is very clear that there is no other religion, there is no other God, there is no other prophet. It is all about Allah and Muhammad.
Absolutely, Surah 9:5. Not to.
And I'm not saying it because I'm an anti-Islamic person. I'm saying it because I was Muslim, and I was taught the same thing. I was always told by the imams in the mosque that you should not have friendship with Hindus or with Christians, and you should not make them your allies, or you should not do the businesses with them. They are eligible to be killed because they are our enemies. So I have been listening to these things for 26 years of my life. So I know very well how do they think, how do they work actually, how do they act.
Yeah, and so, Surah 9:5, kill the kuffar wherever you find them. 2:16, fighting jihad and for Allah is ordained for you. Surah 9:38, you who believe, what is the matter with you, that when you are asked to march forth for jihad for Allah, you cling heavily to her. Surah 9:39, if you not go forth to fight in the cause of Allah, you will be given a painful punishment. So these people are threatened with punishment if they don't kill people like you and me. And what kind of religion is it that will kill someone if you leave it, or kill them if you don't convert? I mean, this is not. I mean, the interesting thing about this is the Buddhists, the Hindus, the Amish. This isn't happening in any other religion. So let's talk about your work. You started out with this, and by the way, are you still with the young lady? Are you married? You're a family now?
Yes, I'm married. I have 3 children, and my wife is in Indonesia, and I hope she will be back with me. So she will be joining me soon. So
we'll pray for that. We hope and pray for that.
I'm a happy married man.
Great. Well, we hope and pray for her safety and safety of her children.
And I would like to add here one thing which we were talking about, that Islam gives the message of the violence or to kill people. You understand it. I understand it. But the Western politicians should understand it. They are the people who are actually governing us, and they should understand it. Somehow they understand, but they don't care about it. It is a very serious matter because, what happens, Muslims, they attack in the name of jihad in America, in Europe, and wherever. And later, the other group of Muslims, they come in front and they say, we condemn terrorism. Islam is not this. So it is a strategy. They do it, and on the other hand, they condemn it. They always do it. They always condemn it. So who is actually responsible for that? Who is going to be punished for that? So the thing is that what I want to say is, it is not one terrorist, or it is not one particular group of radicals. It is the whole ideology of Islam behind it, which actually forces Muslims to kill and to force them to convert until the whole world is only for Allah and Muhammad. And these are the things which I have mentioned in my upcoming movie. I have explained everything about jihad the way I understand as an ex-Muslim. So Pakistan is one of the most radical Islamic countries where the Osama bin Laden was caught and where the biggest terrorists have been caught, and which shows that Pakistan is the land of the terrorism right now. So I'm from that country. I've been following Islam for 26 years of my age, so I do understand very well about it, and that's what I have shown. I have drawn everything in my movie, how Muslims work and how jihad works.
And it's an awesome trailer, by the way. I can't wait to see the full thing. So the mission is to destroy the earth. It's a global caliphate, and you said they say one thing to the Western media, but meanwhile they're telling their people another thing. That is taqiyya, to lie to the infidel, which they're commanded to. And isn't that how Muhammad defeated his enemies for the last 1,500 years?
Yeah. You know what they do inside of the mosques? No one knows about it. I know we have in Western countries we have intelligence services, we have national security services, and they keep an eye on them. But they can't understand every single word of Arabic, the way the Muslims, they communicate with each other, and they mention the verses of Quran. All what I want to say is that not all Muslims are bad, but not all Muslims are innocent too. And until the day they are, there is a misconception of moderate and radical Muslims in this modern world. So I believe there is no moderate or radical Muslims. A Muslim is strictly a Muslim. Why?
Now you said good Muslims. So you think what it is there are people that, I guess I would equate it to the people in America, the Western people that call themselves Christian. But they never study their religion. They never read the Bible. If you go to their house and ask them where their Bible is, and they point to it, there's probably going to be 2 inches of dirt on it or dust. And then they attend church service Easter and Christmas, right? Easter and Christmas, right? But they don't really know much about the teachings of their own religion. But yet they refer to themselves as Christians. That when you say so you're saying. So the same thing as there's people who call themselves Christians, but they don't know anything about their own book, the same is true that there's people who refer to themselves as Muslims, and they don't really know because, what, they don't go to the mosque, they don't read the Quran, what?
Yeah, you're right that many Christians, they don't know about their religion, about the Bible. But the thing is that at least they're not killing people in the name of the holy war or in the name of Christ. But with the Muslims, the problem is that there may be a moderate Muslim who is moderate today. But the day he dedicates his life and he worries about his salvation and he starts praying to Allah and he opens the Quran and he reads the verses of Quran, then he realizes, oh, this is my job actually. My duty is to kill people. My duty is to take revenge from Jews and from Christians. That day he will convert into a radical and into a jihadist. So what I mean to say is that I never hate Muslims. I never say that I'm against Muslims. I never say that
we hate the ideology.
Muslims.
You hate the
ideology,
right?
What I want to say is, we hate the ideology. We do not hate any human, and we
don't hate people.
Any human
right?
because we are Christians.
Right. People think I hate Muslims. I really don't. I hate the ideology. I hate theology. Listen, if they try to kill me, I will do what I have to do to protect myself or someone, or a third party. So, so we need to make that very clear. So tell me, America, and we're going to get to your film. We got plenty of time. Tell me, what do you see from being in Spain and you look at America and you look at what you're seeing in the news? I'm not sure if you heard this, how our CARE and Islamic Society of North America, are they legitimate threats? That are actively working to subjugate our political system and bring in Sharia law? Do you see Sharia law as a real threat to America?
Sharia law is completely against of our values. Sharia law is not compatible to our modern societies. It is not something that we can allow to let it come in force, because if it happens, we will lose our freedom, we lose our liberty, and we will lose everything that we have right now. And because of what? We are Europe or we are America. So first of all, Sharia law is something completely that we should be against of it. Every single Western citizen should be against of it. So the governments will not even think about to implement it in our system. A part of that, what you asked me that if the Muslims or if Islam is a legitimate threat to U.S. or not. So I would say again, the same thing that I'm not against Muslims. I do not hate Muslims, but I do hate a lot the ideology of Islam, which breaks the relation, which kills people, which brings the violence. So I believe that at this moment, Islam is the biggest threat to Western countries like in Europe and to USA, and the way they are constructing mosques everywhere, the way they build their Islamic centers, and we do not know what happens actually behind the closed doors of the mosque. What do they talk? Which verses of Quran actually they are using in their life? And they actually provoke young Muslims, and by reciting the verses of Quran, and they say, you are playing, you are watching the movies, but that's not the life. If you see the verse 244, or 216, or verse 582, where Allah asks you to do this, Allah asks you to do that, and that day, that man or that person converts into a jihadist because he believes that his real job is to bring the whole humanity in the feet of Muhammad or in Allah. He has to do something and he has to fight until the whole world converts into Islam and just follow Allah. So I mean to say that no matter how much the Western politicians convince us that there are radical Muslims and there are moderate Muslims, I believe Muslim is a Muslim, and we cannot guarantee until when someone is moderate, but the next day he can convert into a jihadist. And I have seen several cases. I mean, you can say the case of Faisal Shahzad. He was a Pakistani, and he attempted to blast the Times Square in America. I also know about a Bangladeshi young student who was in United States on a student visa, and he also attempted to blast a place. I don't know where it was exactly. So there are several cases, and you cannot keep an eye on each Muslim, and you don't know what is going on in their mind, what are they thinking, or how they're actually going to act. So you don't have that much manpower that you can put one man behind of each Muslim. So actually, me, you, we all are under a fear, under a threat, under a great danger that any Muslim, anytime, can take any step, because not because he is bad, because the ideology he's following is bad, and that ideology can ask him to do anything, can ask him to blast a plane, can ask him to go to a public place like Times Square and kill people like in Boston. And in
suicide bombers. And the suicide bombers. Do you think they're coming to America? I was watching your film, your trailer, and I have to tell you again, I'm very impressed with this. I think this is one of the best trailers I've seen for an upcoming film exposing Islam, and I'm not just telling you this. I like the way you did the graphics with the and the lady driving around in the car. I'm like, I'm waiting for her to blow herself up. I mean, not that I want to see people die, but I'm expecting. I was watching it with a friend of mine on Skype, and we're saying, hey man, she's going to blow herself up. You think suicide bombings are coming to America? If something doesn't drastically change, you think how soon do you think we may see suicide bombings in America? I mean, you've already seen it in Madrid, in Spain. We've seen the London 7/7 bus bombing. We know, 9/11, and again, Madrid. Madrid was the train, right? The train. And we've seen the attempt in Canada. What about and we know in Israel and throughout the Middle East and the world we got suicide bombers walking into restaurants and you see suicide bombers just walking into a mall and blowing themselves up, or at a big sporting event. I mean, even if they're you see that happening.
Yes, sir. Okay. First of all, if it is the question is about USA, so I would love to mention here my feelings for United States. America is the country which is a dream for everyone in the world, American dream. I love America. I respect American people, but more than that, not only that I would love to live there or I would love to go there, I have sympathy with American people because I believe that they are the biggest victims of Islamic terrorism or Islamic ideology. And there must be many more groups in the world who actually talk in favor of American freedom and against the jihad. So I believe that, and that's the reason that I decided to release my movie on 4th of July, which is U.S. Independence Day, because my movie is completely dedicated to America. So here I would love to say that the way Muslims are migrating to U.S. and the way Muslims are being stronger day by day, they have big finance from Saudi Arabia, from other Islamic countries, and from Pakistan, everywhere. So I don't have any doubt that, yes, it can be a very soon that they can arrive to U.S. and they can have I will repeat here again that you cannot, the FBI or the CIA cannot put a man behind of each Muslim, what he's doing, what is he thinking, or where is he going. Any Muslim, anytime, today he's good, but tomorrow when he reads the Quran and he converts into a jihadist, he can buy a bomb anywhere he wants, or he can create a bomb in his home, and he can go to a mall, he can go to a public place, and he can blast the people. And what will you do then? All what you will do is you will arrest him if he is still alive, or you will go to see how did he do it. But what will happen with those who have lost their lives? So actually, I believe in Western countries, including in America, we are not taking enough actions to eliminate this problem from the base. Where is it coming from? We just go to that particular incident. Oh, that terrorist is going to attack someone. Come on, arrest him. That terrorist has killed someone. Go and arrest him. But why don't we go in that base and find out where is it coming from and just kill that problem from the where it's coming from? The structure is being made from that.
We call it cut the head off the snake off. We cut the head of the snake off.
Yes, sir. I mean to say that. I was missing that word.
Yeah, I understand. Well, Imran, hang on one second. We got to take a break, bottom of the hour. When we come back, let's get right into your first project and then go into your second project, because after your first project, some things happened against you and about your refugee status being revoked. Let's talk about that, the Innocent Prophet, as well, your first project, and we'll be right back, people, right after this, with a few brief announcements. You are listening to Freedom Fighter Radio.
Last year, we bought over 400 million barrels of oil from Saudi Arabia. We bankrolled a state that doesn't allow women to drive, doesn't allow them to leave their homes or work without their male guardian's permission, and a state where a woman's testimony only counts for a half of a man's. Why are we paying their bills and funding their oppression? Today, there's a better way. Ethical oil from Canada's oil sands. Ethical oil, a choice we have to make.
Hello, my children. Yes, it's me, Muhammad. I know that the prophets have said, me, that Muslims cannot drink spirits, and this is true. But there is a difference between distilled spirits like whiskey, vodka, gin, and rum, and fermented beverages like beer. As a matter of fact, at the miracle of Medina, I myself turned water into beer, which is a real man's drink. Unlike wine, which is for women and wussies and dirty, stinking, filthy Jews. After a long day of planting roadside bombs, or taking hostages and torturing and beheading them, it is okay for a hard-working jihadist to come home and crack open a cool and refreshing beer, like Bud Light. Bud Light uses only the finest ingredients, and has the same full-bodied taste of heavy beers, with only half the calories. Yes, my children, it is less filling and tastes great, which is another miracle. So make sure your women stock up on plenty of Bud Light the next time they go to the market. If they forget or bring home an inferior beer, you must beat them severely. These are the words of Allah. Peace be upon you.
Many patriots who listen to alternative radio are unaware a history of Patriot Radio exists in a series of books called Shortwave Wars. Shortwave Wars tells the story of the Genesis Network and how it was founded using stolen equipment. The misdeeds of Alex Jones, Butch Paw, Bill Brumbaugh, and other hosts are examined. As is John Stadtmiller of Republic Radio. How many know there have been 3 Republic networks? What about Heritage, Truth Radio, or Christian Media? What really happened to Bill Cooper or Jeff Baker and Amerinet when he partnered with host Steve Quayle? It's all in the 3 volumes of Shortwave Wars. The Shortwave Wars collection is $15 post-paid, and Christian Media has it. To receive Shortwave Wars, order online at christianmedia.tv. Shortwave Wars, the truth about Patriot Radio.
And now a public service announcement from CARE, Criminals Against Infidel Rights.
We are just like you, America. Well, except for our claims of God-given supremacy, a religious ideology of violent, offensive jihad, subjugation of women to men, Jew hatred, desire to institute medieval, totalitarian, theocratic law in the United States, and designs on global domination. Besides those minor differences, we are pretty much identical.
FreedomFighterRadio.net. Visit our site. In a word, people, if you go to our site, it is going up and down. We're under a constant, nonstop DDoS attack. If you're listening to this show, we could use some financial support. If every one of you that downloads this show would donate $1 or $2 a month, we could solve all the problems as far as our site, pretty much. So consider doing that, making a donation. And remember, we also need some financial help as we'll be traveling a great distance to attend a Quran burning with Terry Jones, and some of us are going to be coming from as far as Oklahoma as well. So we need your support. There is a donate button on the top of our site. Visit our store links as well. And you can Skype me at freedomfighterradio.net and or email me at contact@freedomfighterradio.com or contact@shariaoppositionforce.com. And don't forget, people, check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we just put up last night, Sharia Opposition Force. Well, we're talking with Imran Firesat. He's the guy behind the Innocent Prophet that got a lot of Muslims' panties in a bunch. This is endorsed by Terry Jones and myself, and yes, I'm a proud supporter of Terry Jones. He is my pastor, and I stand behind him, and I will defend him if need be. With that being said, let's talk about your first film. You made a movie on a prophet, Muhammad's life. It was called The Innocent Prophet. After making the movie, you were declared a threat to the national security of Spain. Tell me about this, Imran.
Okay, but before I talk about that, it is very important here to mention that in 2006, 7 years ago, the reason why I was granted refugee status in Spain was criticizing Islam. So I mean to say that 7 years ago they granted me refugee status for criticizing Islam, and I was doing the same thing in the last 7 years. I asked to the Parliament of Spain for the prohibition of Quran, and they admitted my petition, and I used to give interviews in media, and I have done several things. They never stopped me. But since the government changed, and this new government, actually I informed them that, look, I'm going to make a movie on Prophet Muhammad's life. I want to show the truth about his life to the people. And I want to have an appointment with you so that I can show you the movie, and if you ask me to change something, I will do so. But they never gave me any appointment because they didn't take it seriously. Later, I don't know how the things were changed, and they were afraid of the Islamic violence or whatever, and they revoked my status without giving me enough time to defend myself. They simply revoked my status, and they said that you are a threat to the national security. So I have appealed that decision in the High Court, in the Spanish High Court, with the argument that why did you grant me asylum for criticizing Islam if criticizing Islam is a national security matter? So I know I will win. I hope I will win. Christ is with me, and there are many people who are supporting me. But why the Spanish government did it? Because they were just trying to calm the Muslims, and they were trying to give a message to the Muslim world that, look, from now on, we will not let anyone criticize your Prophet Muhammad in our country. So actually, it is a simple message for the Muslims that we are afraid. If you burn our embassies, we are afraid. If you kill people, we are afraid, and we will do all what you want. So it is surrender. It is kind of surrender which the Western governments are doing to the Islam or to the Muslims. So they revoked my status, and they declared me the threat to national security, and I appealed that decision. I'm still waiting for that. A part of that, they also prosecuted me, actually. So they were trying to hit me from everywhere they can. So, but because I was not wrong, I didn't commit any crime. That's why the judge and the public prosecutor, they said Imran has not committed any crime by criticizing Islam or by making that movie, and I was acquitted. And that was a big win for
awesome.
the freedom of expression and also for me.
Speaking of Spain, is it in Madrid, when Islam conquered Spain, the Islamic conquest of Spain, to celebrate that, or they created a major, mega mosque, and it was called Cordoba. Cordoba, and that was in Madrid, I believe?
There is one in Cordoba, which is a historical mosque from hundreds of
years. Is that near Madrid?
They just made a new one some years ago. They made a mega mosque in Madrid, and with the minarets and everything, which is a sign of the Islamic victory, actually.
Well, absolutely. And to quote the soldier's Turkish poem from 1912, it's the minarets are bayonets, the domes are helmets, the mosques are barracks, and our faithful are soldiers or army. In fact, the current Prime Minister of Turkey, Prime Minister Erdogan, he stands behind that. And to top it all off, he's building the largest mosque in North America, in Maryland, a 15-acre complex that's going to cost, I think, like $100 million. Wow. So now you're moving to another film, your new one.
Yeah, actually.
And it's called, and tell us the name of this one.
I'm on a risk. I'm on a huge risk. They have threatened me with deportation, and there is an Islamic country which actually fabricated charges against me, so they could take me there and punish me for the blasphemy. But until now, I'm safe. But the thing is that some people suggested me, don't make another movie because they will deport you. I said, listen, if I have to be killed by Muslims, or if it is my destiny that I have to die in my mission to reveal the truth of Islam, I accept it, I admit it, but I don't want to shut my mouth against Islam because I really hate that ideology of Islam which actually destroys this world.
You refuse to submit.
Sorry, sir?
You refuse to submit. You're refusing to submit.
Yeah, I refuse to submit in clear words. I don't want to submit. I don't want to surrender. I want to continue my mission. So the reason why I made this second movie is that I want to, first of all, I have no enmity with the Spanish government or with any Western government. I don't want to provoke them. What I'm doing is I want to show the truth of Islam, the truth of Muhammad, the truth of jihad. There are several things about Islam which people do not know. We need to make them aware.
Tell us, because you said there's things we don't know. You said earlier on the other side of the break there's things that go on in the mosque that we don't know. So feel free to share anything about this. And again, your new film is called The Innocence of Islamic Jihad.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The movie is, first of all, you will see it on 4th of July, which is only 12 days later. You will see the complete truth of jihad, that what is jihad, where does it come from, and are there some radicals who are involved in it, or the whole Islamic community, the whole Muslim world. About the jihad, you will find everything in that. And a part of that, like you said, that share with us something which we don't know about Islam. So I believe you and Dr. Terry Jones have quite good knowledge in Islam, but I would love to share some things with your listeners right now who are listening us. First of all, think. I would like to say to the Muslims especially, think about it. How a man can be a prophet, a sacred prophet, who used to marry with several women, who used to make slaves to women, who used to provoke his followers to do wars, and who creates a new book with the mixture of Bible and Torah, adding here the things from his own side and saying that go and kill them wherever you find them, they are your enemies, and don't make any relation with them, and giving the message to beat women, and especially how a prophet, a man can be a prophet, who married with a 6-year-old minor girl. You know,
Aisha.
If he was alive, Aisha, if he was alive in this age right now, he would be punished for all that. He would be in jail for hundreds of years or maybe hanged to the death. So I mean to say that there are many things which is Muslims and the Western world, they use the sense and they really sincerely think, give it a thought, not only just being radical, that's my religion and I don't want to hear anything against that, but for one moment, forget about your religion, forget about Allah Muhammad, and just think about his character, and you will find out a man like him could never be a prophet. A man like him was simply a human who used or abused his power, and he achieved everything for fulfilling his own dreams, and he was not a man of God. On the other hand, you see the character of Christ, who never liked the luxury, who never thought about himself, but he thought about other people, who sacrificed his life for us. So that's a kind of character of a prophet. So I just there are several things about character of Muhammad which I tried to show in the movie The Innocent Prophet, which I made last time. Well, on that time I didn't have very much money, so I couldn't make it a very high quality like a Hollywood movie. But still, the limited sources I had, I tried to make cartoons and I tried to show his life from my opinion, which I think I did successfully.
I think you did an awesome job. I think it's an awesome job.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had won the lottery, I would say, hey, here's what do you need to get it, but get it done Hollywood style. But nevertheless, the message is getting out.
So that I want that the citizens of free world, everyone should do something to save our future. Because, and the Western politicians, I'm not saying particularly about anyone. I don't want to say bad about not even the president of Spain, not about the president of America. Simply, I just want to say that the Western politicians, they care about diplomatic relations, their economic relations, but they don't think that they are putting us day by day in more dangerous situation. The Muslims, they are becoming more and more stronger. They have their Islamic centers, they have their mosques. I don't have any problem with their human being or with their religion, but I have problem with the ideology which they follow, the rules, the regulations, and the system. So that is really not good for our future. And that if we don't stop it now, we will lose our identity. We won't be any more Westerners. We will be just like them, or we have to live under their rule. So I want that. I don't want to be say that I'm a great man.
Well, I have a problem with a religion. Well, you're right. It's not a religion because more than 51% of it, if I'm not correct, and you're a former Muslim, isn't the majority? Like I said, the majority of the Quran doesn't even deal on religious issues. It deals with subjugation and a political ideology, right?
Majority of Muslims, they even do not
understand. The book. I'm talking about the Quran.
Oh.
The majority of the Quran deals with. And by the way, Muhammad was illiterate. I understand. Looking at history, he couldn't even read his own book. He had to dictate it to someone. That's crazy. But go ahead. Yeah.
So you're right that Muhammad was an illiterate man, and I believe that. Of course, I believe. I'm confident that the Quran is an invented book by Muhammad or by maybe his followers, whoever did it. So anyhow, it's a mixture. They got some verses from Bible, they got some verses from Torah, and they created a new book, adding the violence and everything in that. So right now, it is very difficult to convince Muslims that, look, this is not a sacred book, because, they get provoked and then they kill people, they start burning embassies. But the thing is that why should we stop speaking truth just because they are violent? Why should we give up on our right of freedom of expression just because they burn embassies?
Sure.
And why should we stop?
Or to eat. Look, or to eat. Because the other day, we got an article on our post. A man in France was riding on a train. Now, personally, I don't eat ham, but I'm not going to condemn eating ham. I don't eat ham because as a Messianic Jew, I just haven't gotten over the ham issue yet. But regardless, I'm not going to condemn. This guy pulled out a ham sandwich on a train in France. 2 Muslims saw it. They were offended that he was eating a ham sandwich in front of them. He had no idea they were Muslim. And they attacked him and beat him brutally. And then no-go zones. You can't walk by here because we're having our prayer on a public sidewalk. The Muslim patrols in the UK, and they got their own videos. You can see them on YouTube. I got one of them posted on my site, and the lady goes, "This is Great Britain. This is not so Great Britain." I mean, we need to look at the UK and what's happening in Europe. Is a canary in a coal mine. Unlike them, they didn't have something in decades prior to look at to give them adequate warning. We in America have that advantage. The advantage of what the policies that we're doing today, which are the same policies Britain pursued 10 years ago, and if we don't change them today, we will end up like the UK tomorrow. What the UK is today, the USA will be tomorrow.
Sorry to interrupt you here. Some years ago, I've been to UK and I had an opportunity to live there, but I couldn't breathe there because I used to feel like it's Iran or Iraq or Pakistan. There are Muslims walking around everywhere with the beards and with the hijab, and there are mosques everywhere. I would love to share one thing with you, that my own sister, my blood relation sister, she lives in UK, and she was so modern girl. We used to watch movies together. We used to enjoy together and talking about everything. But since she moved to UK, she is a radical Islamist, and she doesn't. It's not allowed to watch TV in their home. They are not allowed to watch to watch the movies, and her children they go to madrasa after their school. They also go to madrasa.
Madrasa.
Yeah,
right.
And a part of that, when they talk to someone on telephone, they cannot sing the Indian songs or Pakistani songs. What they do is they recite some Islamic poetry. So I was so afraid to live in UK. I can't breathe. I don't feel free there. It looks like an Islamic country. So I really feel afraid that same thing can happen someday in America, in Canada, in Australia, everywhere, and these people will rule on us with the excuse or with the pretext of their migration or with their multiculturalism. So I think we should stop it somehow. I don't have problem with those who want to come and to live because I'm also an immigrant. So I do understand what are the feelings of an immigrant moving to another country, having a good life. But those who want to migrate with their religion, religious ideology, and to implement those laws in their new country, they should be deported right now without waiting any single moment.
Right. So you would say
no multiculturalism.
So you would say a ban on Islamic immigration would be a big step, right?
Yes, sir. I think that's a very important step which should be taken now. But I will still say again, if someone as a human wants to come and to live in this country respecting the laws of United States or of Europe and...
I said Islamic immigration. I'm talking about Islamic. Now, I'm not saying somebody like a Coptic Christian or maybe banning someone just because they're from Pakistan. We're talking about someone that is a dedicated follower of Islam is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying ban Pakis or ban Indians or I'm talking about when I say banning Islamic immigration, I'm referring to followers of Muhammad should be banned from immigrating into this country.
Yeah.
And if they say they're not a follower of Muhammad and they're found out, I think then they should be deported. If they lie and say, "Oh no, I'm not a Muslim," and we find out otherwise, then hey, we boot their ass out.
There are two steps which should be taken soon, right away. First is ban the Islamic immigration, and the second, that the Western countries should stop helping those Islamic countries who directly or indirectly help jihad. because we are not going to hear the bullshit excuses that we don't know anything about it. Islam is not that. We don't know who have done it. As long if a country is involved somehow in helping jihadists, the Western countries should stop helping them economically and should break their diplomatic relations with those countries. I would say first of all in those is Saudi Arabia, which we know that Osama bin Laden was from Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is a country which the Saudi Arabian people, they can go around the world and they can make big mosques in the name of Islam, but we are not allowed to make any church there. There's not any church in that country.
Yeah, we should ban no mosque, in the very least, being built in America that are being funded by Saudi dollars. I don't care if there's one Saudi dollar involved in building a mosque, that mosque should be banned until Saudi Arabia allows a church. The other thing, you mentioned Saudi Arabia. Honor killings on a weekly basis. You were for a Muslim at one time to kill women. Now, is this issue going to be addressed in a full-length film, the honor killings of women for simply being not a perpetrator of a crime, but being the victim of a crime? Are you good? Is honor killings addressed in your new full-length film?
About the women killing in Saudi Arabia?
Honor killing, killing a woman because she looks nice and sexy, and so, or she maybe falls in love with, maybe it's a Sunni falls in love with a Shiite, or a Shiite falls in love with a Sunni, or maybe a Sunni or Shiite falls in love with an Indian, Hindu, or a Buddhist, and
of course.
And there's honor killings every week, and then get this: the Egyptian government has ordered a death decree on Dr. Terry Jones for simply criticizing Islam on American soil. And this is Egypt and Saudi Arabia, which allegedly our government, the great freedom-loving United States government, says are our allies. I say that's bullshit. Tell me, Firesat, honor killings. Tell me, if it's not in your film, tell me about honor killings, but is it in your film?
For now, this is not the part of my movie, because this movie is completely about the Islamic Jihad. So it was
you're right. Good point.
But the thing is that I have made a list of my future projects, and this is one of them, the honor killing in Islam. I have also planned to make a movie on Aisha's life, that how a minor child was sexually abused by the Prophet of Islam. So there are many projects. Actually, Islam is so interesting topic that you can divide it in several categories. And I believe that if I would be alive, if I don't get killed by Muslims, or if I don't get deported by Spanish authorities, and if I'm really a free citizen of Western countries and use my right to freedom of expression, I would make movies on several topics of Islam. I'm not going to stop, because I believe by speaking on the matter of Islam, I'm not committing any crime, and I think everyone should do that.
Well, I'm going to be praying for your safety. I know a lot of people listening too. I mean, it's like Terry Jones. I think God's going to keep using you for a while because Dr. Terry Jones, there's a multi-million-dollar bounty on his head. Has been for years. Al-Qaeda's put a hit on him. I'm pretty sure that my name is out there now somewhere for associating with Dr. Terry Jones to the level I do. So let me tell you, you got the movie is based on 4 major episodes of jihadi violence of recent times. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Can you tell us about briefly go through what 4 major episodes of jihadi violence in recent times, please?
Yeah, I would love to share it. The first and the most important clip is about 9/11. I believe that all of you, that you have watched the clips of how the planes were attacking on the Twin Towers, and how there are several animations on YouTube that how the towers were attacked and how it was destroyed, but no one knows exactly behind that what was happened and why was it happened. So I know I don't have physical proofs of that, but it's my imagination that how the Muslims were provoked to do it. So in order to prove that, I have made a clip of that how Osama bin Laden was giving a violent speech in the mosque in Afghanistan, and he was provoking to some jihadists to do this. And he was using the verses of Quran, and we have mentioned every verse of Quran while he was talking. And there's a very good animation of Osama bin Laden. I believe that you all will like that, the way Osama bin Laden is talking, and he was moving, and he's angry with those who said that, but I'm a young man, shouldn't my life go to the waste? And he gets angry, no, your life won't be wasted, and instead you will be, Allah will be very happy with you if you do this. So we have made a quite interesting story that how was it happened and how did they attack, why did they attack. And the second clip is about Israel. We all know about Israel's conflict with Muslim countries, like Palestine and almost all the Muslim countries. They have no diplomatic relation with Israel, but still Israel is a strong country and it stands for its values and for its rights. So I have made another clip of 2 minutes, which is that how the Islamic suicide bombers, they kill Jews, and which verses of Quran they actually use. There are some verses of Quran which says clearly that Jews are your declared enemies, and there are some verses which say go and kill them. So we have used every single verse of Quran by proving that, look, what I'm saying, it's not invented by me, it is in Quran. So you can open in internet and you can find it. So, and the third thing is the clip about blasphemy laws in Pakistan, that how the Muslims, they use taqiyya's concept and they falsely charge to Christians or to non-Muslims with the blasphemy charges in order to punish them. So there is a very famous case of a Pakistani Christian woman called Asiya Bibi. So we have made a clip on how Asiya Bibi was falsely charged by Muslims, saying that she insulted Prophet Muhammad, but in reality she didn't. So they could sentence her to death. And then the fourth clip is very important to me as a Christian, that how the Christians are being persecuted and being killed in Islamic countries. The fourth clip is all about Egypt. So we have shown in that clip that how Muslims use the verses of Quran, or they are being provoked by the imams, and they go and they kill Christians, and they feel proud with that, and they break the cross, and they put the Islamic flag there. So these are the 4 clips. And after these 4 clips, there is a documentary in which the images are, there is a slideshow of the image, but in the background we are explaining what is jihad, where does it come from, how to stop it, and several more things. And we also saying that very clearly that we don't hate Muslims, we hate the Islamic ideology. And the day Muslims leave that ideology, that will be the best day for the humanity, for this earth, and we all can live together happily, peacefully, with the trust, and there will be no more persecution towards Christians or towards infidels, because the problem in this world comes from Islam. It is Islam which makes discrimination between religions. It is Islam which teaches people to go and kill in the name of religion. It is Islam actually which is destroying the peace. So the problem is not economical crisis, problem is not poverty, problem is the Islam which is provoking people to do the things which we don't want to happen. So that's all I want to show in my movie. I don't make this movie because I want to make money. This movie, since it's a free, everyone can watch it for free in YouTube. I'm not going to make any money from that. I have dedicated 6 months of my past 6 months to this movie. The purpose is to make aware the world about what is jihad. I don't want people to always say, well, not everyone is bad, not all Muslims are bad. It is some crazy people who do it. I want to show them that it is. Sorry, sir?
Go ahead. I want to ask you real quick before you go on.
Yeah. So I want to show them the truth that it is not a group of people, it is not some people, it is the whole ideology.
It's the whole ideology.
It is an ideology which we have to eliminate, and if we don't eliminate that ideology, then I think we should blame to ourselves in future. Why didn't we do it?
I look at it like dog crap or the feces of dog waste. When a dog goes to the bathroom in your yard, you can't turn it into something good. I know this sounds nasty, but you can't take human waste or animal waste and make it a great dinner. You can't turn it into a meal, okay? You can't, but you can't turn it into a meal, no matter how hard you try. You can change the color, change the smell, change the way it looks, but it's still get it. Do you mind if people put this YouTube video on their channels to get the message out? Because people are going to wonder, well, if I post it on YouTube, am I going to get reported for posting someone's content? Do you mind? I mean, are you, tell the people if they can or cannot download it and upload it on their channels.
Of course, everyone can download it, and I actually want to request to people, it's my kind request to all of you, that please spread this message wherever you can. Your family, your friends, your teachers, everyone should know actually what is jihad and how to stop it. So I have tried sincerely, it's my sincere attempt that I can make aware the world about the jihad. Because, a terrorist attack happens, and then we forget about it. And then another terrorist attack happens, and we forget about it. So it's not going. It's not working like this. I mean, we should go. I will repeat again that we should go to the problem and eliminate it from its base. So forget about it forever. So we can't just let the things happen and then cry for some days and then something again happens. We have to finish it once and forever. And the solution is to eliminate the ideology of.
Now I'm going to ask you, with all this talk. I asked you if I can address a particular individual. If you don't want to address it, you know who I'm referring to. Do you mind if I ask you a question about this particular individual that I sent you in Skype? Yes or no?
Yes, please.
Okay, because I don't want to get off topic, because it might be controversial. I understand. Let me say, Pamela Geller, for one. Pamela Geller has, of course, to begin with, has equated the burning of Qurans, doesn't support Quran burnings because she equates it to book burnings. I spoke with a man with EDL Radio last week. His name was Jeff Mitchell. Jeff Mitchell is one of the producers of EDL Radio. He told me he personally spoke with Pam Geller and told me, quote, the reason she doesn't support Quran burnings is because she doesn't support book burnings. Book burnings are when people have their books burned against their will, like an army or police go house to house rounding up Bibles or any books they don't want on it. So, but Pamela Geller doesn't seem to be totally up on you. She doesn't seem to be in total support of you. And I don't know if it's because you totally support Terry, but your life is at stake. Your life is at stake, and it seems that they would put that aside when someone with the background you have has the potential to not only warn non-Muslims of the threat of Islam, but also when when Muslims see you, when they see your courage to stand up and leave it, because many I believe may not be wanting to leave it because they feel trapped, because they're afraid if they leave it they're going to be killed. So the more to speak up is another way of fighting it. Tell me, why is Pamela Geller not jumping on your bandwagon? Because as far as I'm concerned, there is no excuse for anyone in a counter-jihad not to support you. And I'm not saying they have to send you $100 or money, which would be nice. I would support that. I think if people can help you financially, I think they should help you financially. And I'm going to have you give your email out at the end of the show. If people do decide to do that, can't promise you they will. Hell, it's like pulling teeth trying to get them to donate to this show. With that being said, why? There's so many in America. They talk. They're it seems like they're in it for the show. And I know, like Bridget Gabriel, she doesn't even support a ban on Islamic immigration, and she's also said that when Terry Jones burns the Quran, it's like burning a church to the ground. Excuse me. I have a problem with that. And she calls people that support a ban on Islamic immigration bigots. But meanwhile, she makes at least $25,000 to $50,000 every time she speaks, literally. So That's why she buys the nicest clothes, the nicest shoes, designer handbags, and I'm not nothing against a woman dressing nice. But she's profiting immensely from speaking out about Islam.
Okay.
Why are these people getting behind? Why are these people not getting behind you, Imran?
It's a good question. I think what I do, I deserve support of everyone, including Ms. Pamela Geller, including everyone. I'm very happy that there are many people in the world like Dr. Terry Jones and those who have supported me making this movie. As you can see in the trailer, Mr. Dane Roberts, who is also an American from the Religion of Peace, Mr. M.A. Khan, who is also an ex-Muslim, and he has a website, islamwatch.org. So those people have helped me a lot, but there are some people who have never come out and say, we are with you, we are on your back, and we will support you. I don't want
we got your back. We got your back, and Infidel Task Force has your back. Yeah. My buddy with Infidel Task Force, he's been real busy. He's going to be getting your stuff up, too. So InfidelTaskForce.com, StandUpAmericaNow.org, Freedom Fighter Radio, and what was the other sites you said? Give them out again that are backing you?
The Religion of Peace. The Religion of Peace.
Oh, that's an awesome site, man.
They helped me actually morally and to prepare the script of the movie. I'm very thankful to Mr. Glenn Roberts. I'm very thankful to Mr. M.A. Khan from Islam-Watch.org. So, and of course, Dr. Terry Jones is one of my idols. I love him.
He's Winston Churchill. He is to America, or to the world. In the 21st century, what Winston Churchill was in the 20th century.
Yeah. So if it is the question that why people like allegedly don't help me, so I don't want to blame anyone. Maybe they have some personal reasons or whatever that they don't show me their support. But yes, I feel it sometimes that in this difficult moment when I'm doing this kind of project, and actually they talk about the same thing, so why can't they help me? I don't want any money from anyone, but it would be good if they can leave a message to the world that they are with me, so that the government, the Spanish government would not be daring to deport me. So sometimes, yes, it lacks the support. Because of the lack of the support, there are some things which are happening against me here in Spain. If I would have good support with big people like Ms. Pamela Geller, the things would be different. So I would still say that maybe she has some personal reasons, but yes, I would be very happy if they support me, and if we all join together and if we fight for the same cause, then, the things can change.
We can make a big difference. If everyone can just...
make a big difference. We cannot, we should not divide ourselves in different groups or different parties. We are one. We all are risking our lives. We all are...
listen. So they're going to kill all of us. They're going to kill all of us.
Kill all of us. So, that I make this movie. In last 5 months, I was working with sound engineer, with video editor, and I was so tired morning until night. But I was happy that I'm doing something which is good for the world. So, I'm really not going to make any money out of this. And I'm very happy. I'm very thankful to the Legal Project in USA, which is an organization of Daniel Pipes. Dr. Daniel Pipes helped me a lot to defend in my legal problems. So they actually paid to my lawyer. That's the biggest blessing I have, I think, because when my status was revoked after the movie, The Innocent Prophet, I was alone. I didn't know what to do, how to face this all. And that time, Dr. Daniel Pipes' organization, the Legal Project, they contacted me and they said that we are with you. Since you are fighting for liberty of expression,
great guy too, yeah.
And they kept their promise. They kept their promise. They paid to my lawyer, and they were always there with me. They are in contact with me almost every day and asking me, how am I? That makes me feel proud. That, look, what I'm doing is not bad, actually, because there are people who are supporting me, but there are people who do not support me, so I still pray for them. They are nice. They are good.
Well, they need you because you can reach a lot of people. Let me ask you, the guy at Religion of Peace, I'm going to put you on the spot on the air, get him to Skype me, because you know what? I don't ever do a show without the Religion of Peace website being pulled up, okay? Because even though I'm learning more and more about it, the drop-down tabs they have on Islam, the news on what the Islam is doing around the world, to me, it's one of the most informative sites on Islam I've run across. And you know what he needs to do? He needs to put, like, the social networking button so people can share the articles and various pages, like where people can tweet it, where they can share it on Facebook. Tell him we suggested that. If he does it, he'll get a lot more hits even, and we'd love to hear from him. I've been a fan of his ever since I've been speaking out against the Islamic threat. Well, we're going to wrap it up here, Imran, and hopefully we will speak again, as we'll be praying for God's hedge of protection around you. With that being said, you have an email. Please share your email. Please share your website and or YouTube channel as well.
The YouTube channel, which me and Mr. Khan, we have created together, it is Real Islam TV. You can find it out with my trailer also. It is Real Islam TV. And why we choose this name? Because this is the channel which we hope in future is going to show the real face of Islam. So this is Real Islam TV on YouTube. And the address is youtube.com/Real Islam TV. And it's my webpage, my personal webpage. It's in Spanish, but I hope many Americans, they do understand Spanish. It is www.mundosinislam.com, which means in English, worldwithoutislam.com. But I don't have the English domain for that, so in Spanish you can find it out with mundosinislam.com. And my email is the same as my webpage, mundosinislam@yahoo.com. So if someone wants to have any kind of information on my project or want to pray for me or whatever, so you can contact me on my website, through my website, and I would be very happy. I would say again that I don't want any money from people, but if someone wants to appreciate my good work and express their support to me, I would be very happy. Your one message is very much for me. I'm happy with that. I'm not doing it for any object to make money or for greed. I'm happy that I'm doing something which is very much necessary, and I think it had to be done for several years ago before we get so much Islamic immigration, But now it is still not too late, and we should take action now.
Well, and with that being said, you said you're not doing it for money. I would say this is if you wanted to make films for money, you could do a lot of things that were better than doing something that's going to piss off crazy jihadists that want to kill you or put you in prison and everything. There's a lot better ways to make money than trying to make people mad to want to kill you. With that being said, people, the innocence of jihad, check it out. You've been listening to Freedom Fighter Radio with Imran Firesat. And don't forget, man, coming up Tuesday, we'll be talking with the Michigan Militia out of Southeast Michigan on the 16th annual Militia Field Day. Yes, right. Visit MichiganMilitia.com to learn more about it. With that being said, good night, God bless, death to Islam. And remember, people, we will not submit. We will not be silenced. You've been listening to FreedomFighterRadio.net.
Die. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your bed many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!